Hi guys, welcome back to this van build. We are back from Spain where we switched our van life working clothes for something a little bit more elegant. So we are back in Ireland and we cannot wait to get back out to Spain. So we are flat out working on the van build to get it finished because we have a ferry to catch in a few weeks.
So guys, do you think we are going to get this van finished in time? We have a lot of things left to do. Although the van does look like it's finished, there's still a lot of little jobs that need to be done before we can hit the road. Another thing, we haven't heard from revenue yet, which has been like over 2 weeks. So I'm getting pretty nervous. I am dreading that email coming in with the final bill. God knows what it's going to be. So if you have received a bill from revenue, drop it down in the comments how much you paid for your VRT, because I am petrified of what ours are going to be. Today we have a lot of things to do. We have to install our water pump, we have to install our arch, we have lights installed outside, we have more tarpaulin to finish inside. We have a lot of stuff to do, so let's get cracking. So the first job on today's list is to start fixing this water pump. As you guys know, in the last episode we kind of just rigged it up to test it out and the pressure was too much. It was blowing off the hoses, so I had to go and buy these little 10 to 12 mil Jubilee clips that we are able to put on each connection, so when we do run the tap it's not going to fly off and soak the entire van, because we don't want to soak the van. Imagine all the water getting underneath the cabinets, under the floor and everything. We do not want that happening. Let's go connect these here up. Hopefully this water pump is not that loud, because I know the one in Fergus is quite loud, and at night when you're parked up and you run the tap to brush your teeth or anything, it is so loud it's going to definitely wake the neighbours. So hopefully this one is not too bad. When I was running these wires, I didn't know exactly where everything was going to be, so that's why the wires are longer than what are necessary. So I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to trim them up to length so that they can be tucked away nice and tidily under here, and they're not going to stick out like a sore thumb or be catching on anything. So after a little bit of tidying, this is all done. Wires are all tidied up, water pump is in, everything is connected up. Let me show you the wiring. So now that looks a lot neater and tidier than having all loose cables hanging down. So I just have to clear out all of this. Water pump is in there, everything is good to go. Next thing is to fill up this jerry can, and that is going to be our water tank. Now that we have our water, let's put this in, and fingers crossed the water pump works. It's a little bit wet from the last time. So water is in. Let me just make sure all the Jubilee clips are tight. Okay, all good. So you might be wondering, why did we end up going for a water system like this and not, because we have all the space, why did we not put a tank underneath the van and have that as a fresh water tank like normal motorhomes or whatever? But I didn't want to go with that because a few reasons. So for us, this 25 litre tank is what we had in Fergus, and that is more than enough for our adventures. There is times when we have been off grid for ages and we still haven't used all this water. We've got pretty good at being very conservative with our water. That's reason number one. The second reason for me is that when you are out in Europe and you pull up to one of those camper van areas and you have to go and get your fresh water or whatever, it is a lot easier to just literally grab your water tank, walk up, walk over, fill it up, put it in, and away you go. You don't have to wait on anybody. It's so easy, and it's just very practical for us. So let's close up the van, move inside, and I will tell you my next reason. The next reason why I like being able to take out your water tank and having it very accessible is that you can take it out to clean it whenever you want. If you have a tank that is underneath the van or anything, you don't really get to see inside the tank. You don't get to see how much water is or if the tank is dirty or whatever. So I like being able to take it out and empty it, clean it, and do whatever I want whenever I want, and you don't have to start like dropping tanks from underneath the van or anything. I just think it's very easy and very practical, and 25 litres goes a long way, especially when you're not running showers or water heaters or anything. And we are going to have a shower behind us, but that's going to be a separate tank. Oh, and has anybody ever tried to fit a water tank underneath a medium wheelbase van? There is literally no room. So next step is to test if this water pump works and to test how loud it is. We don't have a wastewater tank in yet, so we can't let it run down the sink or we're going to have wet feet. So good old trusty Volkswagen mug, that is going to collect the water, and hopefully it's not loud. Yo, why is that so loud? I'm going to have to go and get Annie for this.
So guys, it's a bad sign when Shane calls me out. The water pump is installed, so I have the honour of testing it.
I know it's loud.
What? So I got this water pump from Seaflow, and it's meant to be a quiet water pump. I literally searched for quiet water pumps.
So if anybody has any solutions or any ideas on what we can do to make our water pump a little bit quiet, I don't know if we have to put it on like rubber matting or something so that it kind of kills the vibrations, but it is quite loud. You couldn't really have this in the van because if there's anybody beside you, it's definitely going to wake them up. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, leave it down in the comments, please. So now that the water pump is installed, that is ticked off the list. Everything is done with that, unless we have to build a box or something, but we'll worry about that another day. So let me show you another cool thing. We've already shown you in the last video, but I've it installed and I want to show you it right now. So you mightn't be able to see it because it's so small, but remember we were talking about the strip light that we have that goes above our sliding door? Well, we have it installed. It's not fully wired up yet because I am waiting on a wee switch to come that is going to be hid up here so we can switch it on at night, light up the whole ground. We can't really show you it working yet because it's bright, so check back in later on. When it's dark, we'll turn this on and we'll see what this light is actually like. So small, and let me show you how I got the wire inside the van to our battery. This here is the light right here. It's so small, like it's literally tiny, but if you see in here, you can't really see it, but I've hid the wire down through here, in through here, and in through the van. The wire comes in through the van right here, runs along here, down over to here, and it's all going to be connected up in here. As I said, I'm just waiting on a switch, so I haven't got it wired in fully yet, but all this is still going to be covered, so you're not going to see any of the wires. And I also just want to say that we have a lot of stuff recorded about putting in the light and everything, but unfortunately our SD card corrupted and we lost all the files. So unfortunately we don't have any footage left of installing that light, but however, that is the game we're in.
As you guys might remember, on our very first Spanish trip with Fergus, we had a car crash on the motorway heading to Barcelona. We had to ring the police and they came, they measured the marks on the road, they took pictures of his car, they took pictures of Fergus, and luckily it was clear that he was at fault. That whole experience made us realise how tricky it can be to prove what actually happened, and since then we started using 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗥𝗧 dashcams, who are kindly sponsoring this video. We couldn't take the big blue bus on the road without a dashcam, so today we are fitting 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗧's A329, which is the world's first dashcam with 4K at 60 frames per second, and it uses this clever HDR technology to handle super bright and super dark scenarios, so it captures number plates clearly even at night. 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗧 has just released new models to suit different setups like waterproof or telephoto options, and they all come with Sony Starvis 2 sensors and smart features like hybrid parking mode and impact detection, which we wish we had had back then. This dashcam comes with 2 channels, one for the front and one for the rear, so it covers all angles, and it also has Wi-Fi 6, so you can connect your phone and then load 4K footage in just a few seconds. We've been using 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗧's A119 and A229 Pro for the past 3 years in Fergus, and they've been brilliant. So if you're thinking about getting a dashcam, 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗢 are offering some amazing deals of up to 38% off during Amazon Prime days on the A229 and the A119 Mini 2. So we are going to leave a link down in the description so you can check them out. Now, let's get installing.
So in the kit you get your front facing dashcam, your rear facing dashcam, and your wires to connect everything up, and your port to connect up into your cigarette lighter, and then that'll connect everything up and turn on your dashcam. So let's get this fitted up here. We're going to just mount the dashcam right here in the center of our window screen.
That looks good.
Okay, so that is the whole install complete. What did that take? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? The wire is coming over here, down through here, stored in here, and comes out, and we have our connection for our cigarette lighter, so whenever we want, plug it in, and we can leave it in because that doesn't have a constant 12 volt, so that only comes on when we have the van started, and then once we start the van, that will start recording. So thanks to the legends of 𝗦𝗣𝗢𝗢𝗥𝗧, we are now safe on the road.
As we said, this dashcam has 2 channels and it comes with a second camera for the rear of the van, but as you know, we have no windows at the back, so we can't use it. So I'm going to install it right here. I have it temporarily set here to get the two of us while we are driving, so it gets the inside of the van, because I'd like to use it because we have this camera in Fergus as well to focus on the inside of the van, and it's quite cool. So let's get cracking. So to hide the wires, the dash cam comes with this handy little tool, and it's brilliant, so it is. So I'm just running the wire all around here, down this way, down around here, hiding, so the wire is quite long, so I'm hiding the excess wire down here, cable tying it back around, and I have the camera up here. I have the dash cam plugged in. I should turn on right now. Ooh!
Recording. 2 channels started.
It works. Look at it. I can see myself. As you can see, this arch that divides the cab from the back of the van is finished. It has been the first thing I've done when we came back from Spain, but our camera sort of formatted our SD card, or it just messed it up, corrupted it. We can't access any of the files, so I can't prove that I've done that, but I have, and I'm really proud of the result. You can barely see the joints. Some of you have asked how we have built that arch, and it's 3 different pieces. So we have that side, then we have the middle, and then we have the other side. And when I was carpeting, I didn't finish it off because we had to finish building the arch inside the van. So when we came back from Spain, I trimmed the edges and I glued them in, making sure that we couldn't really see the joint. And let me show you, because I'm very proud of this. So this first piece joins the middle one, and there is a joint here, so right here. And if someone doesn't point it out to you, I feel like you can't really see it. And this other side is the exact same. We have this side piece joining the middle one, and I wish we had the clips of Shane putting this in, because it was quite funny. There was a lot of swearing, and it's the reason why we have this massive hammer in the van. There's another joint here. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can't. But it's, oh yeah, so it's like right here. It's very hard to see. It looks really good. I have to say, Shane wasn't really trusting me at the start, but then again, I wish it was recorded. He said that it looked really good. So that was my first task. So the water pump is in, the light outside is in, the carpeting is finished. Again, I had sticky, hairy fingers. Shane says it's just my usual fingers, but I had sticky fingers once again, and I think that's me done with the gluing and the carpeting. It's been so many times that I thought I was finished, and then another carpeting bit comes up, but this time I think I'm finally finished, which I'm really glad. So let's keep cracking on with the van build, because our ferry is only in a few weeks.
So guys, as Annie says, she has been doing a lot of carpeting, and let me tell you, she's pretty good at it. So we've tidied up all the carpeting here at the back doors and everything. Towards here at the back of the van, it's mostly all finished. As again, we lost all the footage, but I have fixed underneath the bed. I'll show you that in a second. But we have this last piece to go up onto our skylight, and that is the blanket blind and the fly net. So that's going to come in so handy when we are out in Europe. We're not going to get annoyed by those annoying mosquitoes. So this is very easy to install, and that is it installed. People don't realise the amount of work that actually goes into building the van, and although the van does look like it's almost finished, there is so many little bits and pieces that still have to be done before we can make the ferry. And in the meantime, we have to get our bill from revenue, we have to get the van CVRT'd, we have to get everything insured in our, oh my god, it's going to be a stressful 3 weeks before we can get this van going. Oh my god, we are running out of time fast. So what I've done, but unfortunately we have lost all the footage, is I have put more lats in. So now there's only probably about 2 inches between each lat, so that means the mattress is not going to deform. So the only thing left for Annie to do is test it out.
Okay, now it doesn't matter where we are. Very good job, Shane.
Thank you.
And now my side, the most important part of the bed. Oh, it's even better. Yeah, approved, Shane.
Thank you very much.
Good job. In this trip coming up, it's going to be very hard to get up. And it's already hard.
That's every morning, Annie.
I know. We have been thinking about possibly starting a Patreon, but we just wanted to get your thoughts and see if you would be interested. So when we make these videos, especially when we are traveling around, half of it doesn't make it to the video because it would be way too long for YouTube, but it's still like Shane and Annie, very funny style, and we would also share like maps of our park ups. It would be very little price, but it would just help fund the channel and keep the travels going. So we just wanted to see if you guys would be interested, because it would also be like a really nice way to connect apart like further from YouTube. So
it's just an idea. We've seen loads of other people have started up a Patreon, and we just said why not give it a go and ask you guys first if you'd be interested. So if you are, drop it down in the comments and we will consider making a Patreon so you can see the behind the scenes of what we get up to and stuff that doesn't really make the YouTube videos. So please let us know.
Waiting on this VRT has to be the worst part of the van build, because we are just waiting for this email from the Irish Revenue with a mad bill. So we didn't have to do this with Fergus because he was already a camper van when we got it. So this is our first time, even though it's our second van build. And it's just, oh, I don't know. Like for me, if we get a bill of less than 2,000, oh, it would be ideal. But we've heard horror stories of people getting like 4,500 and stuff like that.
So the big blue bus might be for sale.
Before it goes anywhere. Oh.
Now that you can see from behind, it is dark outside, so let me show you what this light is like that we put above the sliding door. This is going to make a huge difference to the van. So when we are parked up somewhere and we want to sit outside, have a little bit of light, we can flick a switch on in here, a switch I don't have yet. But that will turn on the light outside and that will light up the whole entire space. Like I remember being in Portugal trying to be out with our phones to get a little bit of light to eat outside at night. This here is going to be a huge difference. Let me show you. First, let's turn off these lights and just look at the light coming off this light bar. It is absolutely incredible, and we just want to give a huge shout out to our amazing subscriber that had this lying in his shed, wasn't going to use it, reached out to us and sent it to us. That is absolutely incredible, and that is a huge benefit now to the big blue bus. That is going to be some job when we are traveling around parked up. It's even for safety. If you hear somebody outside your van, flick a switch, boom, everything is lit up. So can't recommend these enough, and it also stops the drip coming down when you open the sliding door, because that is quite annoying. But I absolutely love that light. That is class.
This is going to be it for this week's video. We only came back from Spain 2 days ago, but we are already flat out working on the van build, trying to get it finished so we can get back out to Spain. We'll keep you posted on this dreaded bill from Revenue, and don't forget to click the subscribe button because we are so close to hitting 10,000 subscribers. We'll catch you next week. Bye!